a life for myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all over the world, my name is Brandon, aka Rags to Riches. As always, folks, do not like, comment, or subscribe. Let's check chat here. Hex647, let's go. Marcus99, what is up, y'all? My online ghost, what's good, everyone? Hex Huddle, I guess I'm going to watch this. I don't know why, Hex Huddle. Sam, I am. Lone Star of Texas. Footsteps, Ginger, My Online Ghost. What the heck is good? Chaz Down Racing, sing this song, dude. Sam Kemp, gotta go to a Meet the Candidates forum. We'll catch the rerun. Imagine battling the people you are constitutionally supposed to protect. Let's go. Beat up G, let's go. Hex Force 1 with the star in the profile pic. Is polyester boxer bad for the balls? I would say ask me that question after sitting in an office seat for 3 days with those on, and you will get your answer. Rags, you look like a ginger Bobby Hill. Well, I'm not going to say it. Footsteps, I missed the porch. Strawberry daiquiri beard. Sweet Aussie appears. We got some stars in the chat, folks. Outstanding. All right. Guys, we got a lot to go over today, but I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it simple. We'll try to keep it like under 30 minutes or so. You know, here's what I want to say. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this music off real quick. We knew this was coming the entire time. Okay, we knew this was coming. The SEC has subpoenaed person after person, time after time, since pretty much 2020 with regards to Binance. And the government did its due diligence, and they have dug in and they have uncovered everything. Okay. I want to say this. What's happening with Binance right now will not be resolved for probably 3 to 5 years. I will tell you that right now. It will not be resolved for 3 to 5 years. There's going to be a lot of FUD that's coming out of this, but we're going to learn exactly what's happening. I actually pulled up the actual court documents that were filed. So we're going to try to get an understanding of what's happening here. The first thing that I do want to delve into here, let's check the charts here. Okay. Texan. Here's the thing, guys. Texan's my thing. Full disclosure, folks. Your first time in the stream. I'm co-founder of Texan Token. Crypto Heartbeat is the founder here. And for those of you who are in the community, guys, I just want to say this. Texan Token has been holding up remarkably well. Remarkably well. Okay? So, you know, for that reason, I just want to say, and this is there's not many times, you might want to clip this, but I want to thank the community. All right? It's obvious that you guys are getting the word out. You're talking about what's important with regards to freedom and sovereignty. And this is the only token in the world that encompasses those two words. There is no token that encompasses it better than this, and tied to an actual political outcome. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for that. All right. So holding up very well. It's just under SAC rate. It popped up above. It actually wasn't SAC rate, donation rate. 1 to 100,000, which was 4 zeros and a 1. Popped up above yesterday. It's fallen back down just a little bit underneath that. So guys, here's the thing too. I want to make this known. This is not something that we're trying to pump and dump. All right. This is not something that is just going to die in a year or two. I think as long as Matt and I are alive, and as long as everybody who's alive right now in this chat, you guys can take that torch if we disappear. So guys, this is going to be a long-term thing. This is not a meme coin. It's going to be around for decades. So I just want to make that clear. Thank you guys very much. All right. All right. Let's get into the Pulse die pair. All right. I use Pulse die. I like to use that. Here's what we've seen, guys. We've got, let's check donation rate here, and I'm going to use nice purdy little horizontal line. I should use Alt H. All right. Oh, yeah. So SAC rate is right about here. So we're right about 3 zeros and a 1. Currently, SAC rate for PulseX, we're about 40% up above. So congratulations. If you sacrifice for PulseChain, you're probably actually more than 40% above due to the fact that you did get that bonus multiplier. So congratulations. That's got to feel good. We came all the way down and touched. Will we touch this again? Potentially. I think that we had a whole lot of really, really big wallets who were speculators. And here's what you got to remember too. Let's just take, I'm going to take like, let me think. Figure out the SAC rate for somebody who got a 2x multiplier. All right. All right, so maybe 4 zeros and a 4 for somebody who got that top spot, somewhere in there. So 4 zeros and a 4, guys. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys what's interesting about this. 4 zeros of 4 is gonna be right down. I mean, it's gonna be low, really low, which is kind of interesting here. I told you guys beforehand. I said it'll be interesting to see if PulseChain, the first price, starts at 3 zeros and a 1 or 4 zeros and a 1. All right. It started just below 4 zeros and a 1. And that kind of confirmed what I said, which was this is a meritocracy. The amount of value that you put in, it's going to be rewarded. And I said, I think that we are going to start way, 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 way down there for the people who got the 2.5x bonus or between 2 and 2.5x. You got to understand these two lines represent two completely different things here. All right, so that's interesting. Is it not even showing that line? Well, it's showing it on my screen. How come it's not showing it there? Oh, yeah, it is. All right, cool. So if we drop below this level, you got to understand that many whales, they're still in profit. Between this level and this level is where everybody exists in terms of donation rate, the amount of tokens that you have based on the multiplier that you received. So sure, there's going to be a lot of people that are upset once it dips below 3 zeros and a 1, but there's a lot of other people that won't be upset. Okay, there was actually a lot of pools that were set up too. They got 2.5x multipliers on their money. So their effective SAC rate might be a 20,000 to 1, okay? It could be 25,000 to 1, the top guy. So just keep that in mind that expect that it could fall underneath here, folks. Very interesting stuff with the jobs report today. Okay, so jobs report came in. That's some of the lowest employment that we've had in a very, 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 very long time. So that's actually bad for inflation. It's good for the economy. But I will say this. We'll get into this in just a second. There's a couple different ways to tame inflation. And one is to produce your way out of inflation. So maybe that could be the thing that we lean into. Maybe legislation could be passed to help us produce our way out of it. Instead of trying to harm the American people with these massive rate hikes. So I say that to say there's a lot of uncertainty in the markets over the next year or so. Pre-halvening, things kind of go sideways. You see these little baby pumps, people get excited, they sell off. It's typically kind of bland. But towards the end of this year is when we would probably see some sort of market downturn, all right, if we're going to see one. So probably Q3, Q4 timeframe. And a lot of analysts are calling for it. But it's funny because you get on the news right now and there's a lot of people who have bullish sentiment. All right, PLSX. I saw a tweet by Hex McKenzie today, and she basically said, "Hey, folks, if you had $20 or if you had $50,000, what would you be spending that $50,000 on? Would you be spending it on Pulse or would you be spending it on PulseX?" You guys know my theory behind this, all right? My theory behind this is as follows. If the SAC rate for PulseX was 3 zeros and a 1, currently we are sitting 41% under that SAC rate. You guys remember pre-launch when I told you? I said if a 10x is given between Hex, PulseX, PulseChain. Okay, so PulseX and PulseChain really. If a 10x is given, then I'm going to be buying the asset that is cheapest relative to sacrifice price. Right now, Pulse is 40% above. Right now, PulseX is 40% below. All right. PulseX also has that feature where it thins out those liquidity pools. It's a buy and burn. I said this too, guys. I said that PulseX is going to shine when we start going into the bull market. I said PulseChain is going to shine prior to bull market. All right. I think PulseX will outperform PulseChain in a bull market. I really do. So my thing is I'm going to buy the cheapest thing relative to sacrifice price. And as far as I'm concerned, any amount of time or any opportunity I have to buy PulseX under this sacrifice rate, really anywhere, and the same applies for the others too. So really anywhere in this level, this is just massive amounts of awesome accumulation. And really, here's the thing too, folks. Some of the videos that I've done, you got to realize this too. These levels are crazy. All right, so let's do some cool little stuff here. Let's say that PulseX gets to 15 cents sometime within the next 10 years. All right, 15 cents. Actually, we do 10 cents. All right, here's 10 cents on this chart. There it is, 10 cents. Here's what's crazy. If you bought today to 10 cents, that'd be about 1,435. I'm sorry, much more than that. It would be about a 2,000x. Okay, 2,000x. Now, what if you buy? Let's say tomorrow the price drops by. Let's just calculate this. Say price drops by another 28 to 30% over the next week, which is highly likely. It could do it, guys. All right. 28 to 30% now means how much later? You guys ready for this? You get another 700x. That's the power of DCA at these levels. So instead of a 2000x, you'd be at 2707x. All right, not saying it's going to do that, but I'm saying the opportunity that everybody has now in the infancy of this chart is absolutely massive, folks. Absolutely massive. So just remember that, folks. Remember that. Yeah, Hex is, and that's what's cool about Hex. Hex is a crazy discount right now, guys. You know, I did call for penny Hex by, I think I said, would I say May 31st of this year? We'd be in the penny Hex range. It got to that, but I didn't call why. So I didn't really I didn't share my work. I didn't really expect it to sell off as much as it did. But guys, you know, if Hex goes back to all-time highs, which we have no doubt that it will at some point in the future, and you're buying Hex at the penny range, you're getting like a 35 to 50x on your money. I mean, in my mind, it's a pretty strong play. Here's the thing, guys. A lot of these assets, a lot of these key assets, folks, if you can be accumulating them right now, it's just gold. It's just absolute gold. I don't know how else to say it. I think that if you're accumulating Pulse, I think if you're accumulating PulseX, I think if you're accumulating Hex, I think that some people might be encouraged to accumulate Texan. I think that some people might be encouraged to accumulate Ink. There's just some cool stuff that's happening. All right. So, okay. Let's get out of this. Incentive token, I wanted to take a look at that too. Hex, and here's the thing too, guys. It's just so beautiful to see all these charts. They're all paired together, bonded with their liquidity. They're rising and falling very similarly. So we definitely see that playing out with all these charts. Let me get this perspective here. Hex, Hedron, Icosa, and these derivative plays, they're going to be really, really strong here in the future too. Incentive token. Got some good stuff going on. All right. Let me check chat here. The Hex and all the ERC20 SAC locked in the value. Nice stars. We got stars here. Sam I Am says, Darth Java, Salt of the True Earth. Hey, yo, what's up, Java? For chat who doesn't know yet, we're adding stars in our username. All right. You guys might be curious as to why. Why are stars? Okay, so you got the star Texas, Lone Star State. This is for Texan token, by the way, guys. So we'll go here. We'll go to Texan. I'm going to show you something here. And then we're going to go to contract. All right, and then we're going to go to, yeah. I'll zoom in a little bit. And I'll also move me out of the way. Okay. Pretty cool stuff here. Note this has been modified, so the original owner address does not hold the supply. Guys, there's no OA with Texan. It's pretty cool, right? It's no OA. The endowment supply holds 97 trillion stars for available rewards. Notice we said stars. Stars is the individual unit of Texan. So that's pretty neat. So that's where we get stars. So that's why we're showing support and solidarity for Texan token on Twitter with a star in your profile picture. All right. You can be a Hexagon and support Texan. You can be a Hexagon and not support Texan. I'm not going to shame you. I don't care. Crypto is a tool to get where we need to go. And however we need to get there, that's what we're going to do. And there's different paths in crypto, folks. So pretty neat here. So I wanted to show you guys that. All right, here we go, guys. SEC files 13 charges against Binance entities and founder Changpeng Zhao, which is CZ. Okay. Here's the quick and skinny. SEC being absolutely savage here. Let me show you this. So this is from the SEC's official Twitter page. Today we charge Binance Holdings Limited, US-based affiliate BAM Trading Services Inc., which together with Binance operates Binance.us and their founder CZ with a variety of security law violations. And then in quotes here, absolutely savage and absolutely embarrassing, quite frankly. Let me move me back over here. Okay, I moved. Cool. We are operating as an effing unlicensed securities exchange in the US, bro. This was the Binance chief, the compliance officer, texting another employee or emailing another employee. And somehow the SEC got a hold of that. And now they just memed him and put him on the internet forever. I mean, that's wild. I'm going to go over some of the documentation. Guys, this thing was 136 pages long. I mean, they went in deep. They went in deep. Absolutely crazy. All right. So a bunch of different charges here, and they also allege, guys, if you got some of these, you might want to be careful here. The SEC also alleged that a number of other tokens, including the native tokens for Solana, Cardano, Polygon, Cody, and Algorand blockchains, Algo, Filecoin, Atom, Sandbox, which is Sand, Axie Infinity, and Decentraland, which is Mana, they're all securities too. So guys, if you got it, if you got those, you better watch out here. So commingling and diverting funds. Binance and its poor financial controls meant that customers' funds were diverted, including potentially for personal uses, the suit said. All right, Merit Peak Unlimited, or Limited, a market maker previously tied to Zal, had access to billions of US dollars in customer funds. What Zal likes to do, and guys, I'm going to imagine at this level this happens all the time. Tons of shell companies were created to accomplish the tasks that Binance needed accomplished. That's just what happened. And we're going to go over this in the documentation. So CZ himself allegedly personally received $62.5 million from one Binance bank account between October of 2022 and January 2023. Lacking regulatory oversight, defendants were free to and did transfer investors' crypto and fiat assets as defendants pleased, at times commingling and diverting them in ways that properly registered brokers, dealers, exchanges, and clearing agencies would not have been able to do. Well, it's interesting because you have no regulatory clarity that would force these people to do what you're asking. But you're holding them accountable to it, which is, I find interesting. Sigma Chain also bought a yacht for $11 million from the account that had access to the customer's funds. According to the suit, CZ owned 100% of an entity called CPZ Holdings Limited, which in turn owned 100% of BAM Management Company Limited. You're going to hear a lot about BAM. All right. So let's kind of dive in here, and this is the summary. I'm going to read the summary, and then I'm going to go through some snippets within the court filings that I was able to find. Okay. Washington, D.C., June 5th, 2023. The SEC charged Binance Holdings, which operates the largest crypto asset trading platform in the world, Binance.com, U.S.-based affiliate BAM Trading Services Incorporated, BAM Trading, which together with Binance operates the crypto asset trading platform Binance.us with their founder CZ, with a variety of security laws violations. Okay. Among other things, the SEC alleges that while Zao and Binance publicly claimed that U.S. customers were restricted from transacting on Binance.com, Zao and Binance in reality subverted their own controls to secretly allow high-value U.S. customers to continue trading on the Binance.com platform. Further, the SEC alleges, while Zao and Binance publicly claimed that Binance.us was created as a separate, independent trading platform for U.S. investors, Zao and Binance secretly controlled the Binance.us platform operations behind the scenes. Okay. So we allege that Zao and the Binance entities not only knew the rules of the road, but they also consciously chose to evade them and put their customers and investors at risk, all in an effort to maximize their own profits. Guys, as I talk about this, I want you to think to yourself, why are they doing this? Why is the SEC doing this, folks? Why? I've got an idea why. I want you guys to answer in the comments there. All right. So let's go to the actual skinny. Let's go to it. United States District Court for the District of Columbia. Binance Holding Limited, BAM Trading Services Incorporated, BAM Management U.S. Holdings, and et cetera, et cetera. A couple things that I want to point out. So here's the deal. U.S. regulators were hot on the case of Binance. Binance had to split off and they had to create Binance.us, which they said was not under the control of Binance, the Binance parent company. A new CEO was appointed for Binance.us, this and that. Well, one of the things that was interesting about this was the actual CEO of the Binance.us trading platform essentially said, hey, we feel like we were just puppets and pawns in this big game. And they found this quote of the CEO saying this. All throughout this document, the SEC has tons of very, very specific and private quotes and correspondence between major players of Binance's empire. That tells me that they got people all up in Binance, man. Well, you would say, well, if there's a Wells notice and there's a subpoena, then they got to give that information up. Yeah, but they can just say, oh, I forgot. Where did they get that information? Where did they get all this really, really sensitive info? And I really think that there are some people that are playing ball at the SEC in exchange for some sort of benefit, which we don't know. So, as part of this plan to evade United States regulatory oversight, Zhao, created BAM management and BAM trading in the United States and claimed publicly that these entities independently controlled the operation of Binance.us platform. Behind the scenes, however, Zhao and Binance were intimately involved in directing BAM Trading's U.S. business operations and providing and maintaining the crypto asset services of Binance.us platform. I think that I read somewhere in this document, 136 pages, that in order to get this thing up and running, $16 million were pretty much wired directly from CZ or CZ's shell company to Binance.us to pay for overhead, to get this thing up and running over the course of about 18 months. So, and guys, who remembers getting that notice from Binance that basically says you have 14 days to remove all of your assets from our platform because US-based customers are no longer. Also within this document, it talks about how they are trying to find creative ways to offer their services to Binance, offer their services to US customers to Binance. So one of the things that they mentioned was, hey, how can we tell them that they can use a VPN without telling them that they can use a VPN? Very interesting. So wash trading, inflating trading volume. Here's what we know, guys. I'm just going to really cut to the chase. I've said everything. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Here's what we do know. And this is difficult for me. This is difficult. I know that Binance has an absolute monopoly on the crypto space. They are all powerful. They are omnipotent. They are omnipresent. They don't answer to anybody. They screw the little guy, as evidenced by CoinMarketCap. All right. I don't know. Can you even trade Hex on Binance? I don't know if you can. But there is no accountability for these folks. All right. We know that they're wash trading. We know that they're doing some weird stuff. Do they provide a massive value to the world? Yes. I'll tip my head to Binance in that way. But I also think that there has to be some sort of accountability. I'm not the type of person that wants massive amounts of regulation, but in centralized finance, guys, it's a lot different than what we participate in. It's a lot different in DeFi than it is in CeFi. And we have to recognize that. So ultimately, is this the worst thing in the world that the SEC is going after Binance? I think it could make things better. I think it will make things better for many people in the world. I think, however, the United States, and guys, this is the overarching idea of why I think this is happening. I think the United States they have an idea of what cryptocurrency should look like in the United States. And quite frankly, there's not much room for centralized exchanges that aren't playing ball. And I think actually they're picking and choosing who's allowed to play ball and who's not allowed to play ball. Here's the example. You've got some entities out there that have gone the correct route and they've registered and they've become compliant. Over the course of 10 years, some of these organizations have been able to do this, but they've had to restructure 3 or 4 or 5 times. That's because the rules change so much and there is no clarity. They're doing everything they can to tread water in terms of regulatory issues. They've got to remain compliant. But then what do you have? You have this organization, for example, Promethium. Promethium, within a very, very short amount of time, is FINRA approved, and the oversight arm SEC basically cleared them as well to be able to trade, to be able to offer securities. It's interesting that they were able to get in so quickly when all these other companies with huge influence and huge power were not able to get in. Let's listen here.
The State of Crypto is presented by Tron, connecting the world to the power of cryptocurrency.
The battle between the SEC and the crypto industry is well known, but amid all this drama, there are some quieter success stories like Promethium Capital and others who are actually getting approval to deal in crypto securities. Joining us now is Promethium Inc. founder and co-CEO Aaron Kaplan. Welcome, Aaron.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so yeah, I think your story is quite different from what we hear about a lot on this show. My understanding is that Promethium Capital has recently been approved as a special purpose broker-dealer and an alternative trading system for digital asset security. So I guess the question here is like, how hard is this? Because, you know, the general feeling or the general, I guess, I don't know, understanding in the crypto industry is that like nobody's really getting anywhere with the SEC, and yet you have, right? So, you know, was this sort of uphill battle and this difficult situation that everybody described it to be, or was it relatively smooth?
It was a long process, but I don't think it was difficult. I think that overall there is a compliant means by which to trade and custody digital assets under the securities laws in the United States, and companies that want to be compliant have to follow those laws.
I don't know about you guys. I don't like this guy already. And it has nothing. Well, I know that what he was saying that was coming out of his mouth is just his competitive advantage because he went the quote unquote compliant route. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. This guy, I'm going to dig into his past to see what he's all about. Because you can't just wave a magic wand and get something done with a little bit of VC money when these massive, massive companies who are already established can't get the same things done. I don't trust him. I don't trust the guy. He looks like somebody I'd want to punch in the face.
Okay. Well, I guess the other question would be that, you know, so now that you have those approvals, what exactly do you plan to do with them?
Well, this Promethium Capital is approved to custody digital assets for both institutional and retail. And in the near future, we also anticipate being able to clear and settle the transactions that occur on Promethium ATS. And once that happens, we feel that a lot of the current trading and custody activity that is arguably occurring in pseudo-legal fashions will migrate to compliant ecosystems that are compliant under the federal securities laws.
So with that said, it's often been argued from a lot of people in the industry that they go in, they talk to the SEC, everything seems okay, and then they get a Wells notice. Things like that. What gives you the idea that you can trust the SEC, to be honest? I mean, you might have gotten an approval now, but what?
Now, here's the thing. If he's playing ball with the SEC, if he's got some sort of inside track, nothing that's about to come out of his mouth in response to this guy's question is going to be negative about the government or the SEC. And it's because he was able to get in so quick. He's reaping the benefits. And I want you to look at this little micro expression that came on his face. It was like a smug little micro expression. All right, let's check this.
Gives you the idea that you can trust the SEC, to be honest. I mean, you might have.
All right, so that was confusion. Hold on, here it is. He was confused. Like, what? Why wouldn't I be able to trust the SEC?
you can trust the SEC, to be honest. I mean, you might have gotten an approval now, but what sort of safeguards are you putting in place just in case, I don't know, maybe a commissioner wakes up or a chairman wakes up and says, yeah, this is security. These are securities. This isn't good. Anybody who's a custodian is a custodian of it, is doing something they shouldn't do. What kind of what's to stop that from happening?
Will he stop talking? Good God.
I would argue that those entities often have skeletons in their closets, and that their previous actions weren't necessarily in line with the federal securities laws. We have waited to get the proper approvals before moving forward with our business, and we believe that we have a clean slate, so to speak, compared to anyone else. So we're sort of the legacy crypto providers, and we've been working closely with the regulators to make sure that we will achieve compliance.
Oh, God, dude. He's either naive or he's in on the inside. Mark my words. We're going to be talking about this guy. Promethium. Okay. There's something crazy going on.
What digital assets are you working with? How are you determining what is or what isn't a security?
At the moment, we haven't announced our assets, but I would say that Chairman Gensler has said that the overwhelming majority of digital assets are securities, arguably everything except for Bitcoin, and we take the same opinion on that.
So no XRP?
I would argue that XRP is more likely a security than a non-security.
Are you kidding me right now? He's got so much confidence. He's like he knows something that nobody else does. Look at this guy, man.
I would argue that XRP is more likely a security than a non-security.
Right. So
look at everybody laughing. Look at these airheads. Like, I could put a suit and tie on and talk about things and put. He's got like a US. He's got a book of the US. It says USA. What else does he have back there? The Diary of Anne Frank. You're so well read.
Now you're so kind of walk us through a little bit through this process that you went through. I mean, maybe not all the detail, but what did you guys do that was different than some of the other players? The ones that you say have skeletons in their closets.
We complied with the federal securities laws and the pathways and regulations laid out. I think that what we've seen in the industry is the argument that there's no path to compliant, but there has been. There's the 3-step and the releases which explain how to trade digital assets compliantly under the securities laws, under the 3-step and 4-step. And then there's releases that explain how to custody digital assets compliantly under the securities laws with the special purpose broker-dealer release. And I think there's been an intransigence in the industry when it comes to wanting to comply with the federal securities laws for 2 reasons. 1, those entities don't have the proper licenses, and 2, their technology isn't built with how sort of securities have to be traded, handled, processed, custodied, etc. So they basically have a difficulty in achieving compliance, and that's why there's arguing there's no route towards compliance. And furthermore, the only people who are best served by the idea of new legislation or new regulation are the business entities, not the investors who need to be protected, and the best way to protect them is under the federal securities laws.
God, dude, he is. Ooh. He is. I'm trying not to be vulgar. And guys, you know, I'm not normally this abrasive. Lack of sleep does this to me. But yeah, dude, he is virtue signaling like crazy. And it's crazy how many other phrases can be derived from virtue signaling that is extremely vulgar and profane, but I'm not going to say it.
So you know, I half joking, I said XRP is not counted, but in all seriousness, I mean, are you just going solely by what Chair Gensler said, or is there an analysis involved in determining what would constitute a security? In other words, are you on your end saying, you know what, this smells like security, it's too much? I mean, this Ether, for instance, which is staked and which people are saying Ether might be a security, it's up in the air. Would that count as a security in your analysis, in the way you look at it?
Well, in regards to ETH, I would say you should go back to the initial issuance in the ICO. I would argue it was.
This is hilarious. Okay, as CEO of a major company, guys, you're not now. I've never been CEO of a major company except for the Rags to Riches Telegram group, and I know that's a big responsibility, folks. It's a massive responsibility. We got some people who are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in there. Shout out Macias. But here's the thing: like, you don't go around bad mouthing other players in the industry. This is not typical normal behavior. This is not something that you do. He's saying exactly what Gary Gensler says. All right. Gary Gensler, if you go back to his MIT lectures on Ethereum, what this guy is in the process of saying right now is cut and paste, copy and paste exactly what Gary said. And maybe this is his form of outrage marketing, but he sure does seem really, really super confident for somebody who hadn't been around at all.
In your analysis and in the way you look at it.
Well, in regards to ETH, I would say you should go back to the initial issuance in the ICO. I would argue it was an investment contract then. It's always been an investment contract.
This is Gary Gensler.
Contract, and therefore it's most likely a security. In regards to the way we analyze and determine whether an asset is a security, that's an internal compliance and operational determination based on significant legal, operational, and a plethora of factors, and is made at the different brokerage level, whether at the ProCap level, Promethium Capital, at the special purpose broker-dealer, or at the Promethium ATS level.
So is it safe to say you're optimistic about the crypto industry in the US? We've heard so many CEOs in this industry come out and say they're looking at setting up shop elsewhere. They're looking at going to maybe Europe where regulation is a little bit more clear. What's your outlook on regulation in the US, especially as it pertains to companies dealing with crypto?
The approval of Promethium Capital as a special purpose broker-dealer really shows that there is a way forward for crypto in the United States. There is a pathway towards compliance, and I think this is the beginnings of a process where all of the trading and custody activity that's currently occurring in arguably improperly regulated venues will migrate to securities compliant ecosystem.
Oh, aka Prometheus. Wow. Just blow everything up. But hey, offer a way for investors to come to a compliant, SEC compliant organization. There it is. And I think he has a man bun. Dear God, if he has a man bun, I'm coming after him. I'm coming after the guy if he has a man bun. And I think I saw a shadow one. Okay, this is getting weird here. He almost looks like Steven Seagal's son. A little bit. It's interesting.
As Chairman Gensler has stated multiple times, the overwhelming majority of digital assets are securities and need to be traded as such. And furthermore, that time is running out for virtual currency exchanges to register under the securities laws. Previously, what you could have argued, well, there are regulations, but no one's been approved, so maybe there is no path. But now that Promethium Capital has been approved, that argument is moot.
The SEC has to approve somebody. I think that maybe he was part of that plan. Maybe all the FUD about the SEC not approving people, SEC said, quick, let's go ahead and push somebody through. And here he is. Here's the discount Steven Seagal. Here's the dollar store Steven Seagal telling us all about crypto.
And in terms of how do you see this growing? Essentially, obviously you're hoping that the crypto industry, crypto trading in the United States, and crypto custody grows. Where do you see it growing, though? Do you see it growing on the institutional level? Do you see it growing on the retail level, given all these regulatory hurdles that seem to be popping up on what people can trade?
Well, I think on the institutional level, having a compliant ecosystem under the federal securities laws will eliminate a lot of sort of the compliance and regulatory risk, which has prevented sort of mass institutional adoption. What we saw after FTX was that there was a pullback from institutions that were participating in the space, and also a sort of inherent fear from institutions that were considering getting into the space. And now that there's a compliant ecosystem with Promethium Capital and Promethium ATS, I think sort of that allies any of those concerns. Now, on the retail side, I think after FTX, there was a need to reestablish confidence to let customers know that.
I can't do it anymore. All right. Let's check chat here. See what you guys have going on. That guy, Promethium Capital. We're gonna figure this dude out. That dude is up to no good. Aaron Kaplan. Aaron Kaplan. Let's just look. Let's just do some let's just scratch the surface here. Aaron Kaplan. Crypto. Huh. He is dude, that dude is sus. Ugh, sus. Suspect. They're going to elevate. This guy's going to be elevated as the next spokesperson of crypto. Watch. We got to dig in on that guy. I'm not going to do it right now. It's too much. All right. Chat. Rags is the man for this. What an a-hole this guy is. Sam I am. What is up? Sam says he's too excited about it. It's weird. Weird name for a company. He's looking around like making up the word salad. Thosh says, enjoy this rags. Polite rags, vanilla, no sprinkled. He seems like he no Terrafin, down Terrafin. He's a robot, that's why you want to punch him. He didn't blink. Did you guys notice he didn't blink? Sus AF, yeah, Logan. He's sus, man. We know. We could smell this out. We know what's going on. Nice ad for Promethium and notice who this whole thing was sponsored by. It was sponsored by Tron. Guys, I'm telling you, for those of you who want to get into this, go ahead and create a crypto news website like just copy what CoinDesk has, but have it for PulseChain, and you can make a boatload of the money. All right, sounds like Hollywood movie title. Yo, Rags, have you heard about... See, this is the problem. You got people like Terrafin1 who comes in here with a Rags to Riches profile picture, the original ape from the Rags to Riches Telegram group, and he's trying to shill these poop coins, man. I'm not even going to say this poop coin live. I'm not even going to say it. How dare you? The disrespect. Actually, I own that poop coin, guys. I do own that poop coin. Sam said she likes man buns. You might have to take a wrench away. Wait, no, she didn't. Where does she say that? No, she didn't. Oh, no. Damn. Oh, she's got to be re-educated. No. When watching the dude, it made me want to fast forward the live stream. Thank you for stopping that, Rags. My ears were bleeding. Yeah, didn't y'all just get a weird vibe off that dude? Like, really, really weird vibe. Oh, guys, I wanted to announce this. This is cool. So, there's some of you who have been supporting my channel either via Patreon or you've been supporting my channel for years, 2 years or so. Within YouTube as well. I'm going to be restructuring things. One thing with supporting me is I never gave you guys any value whatsoever. So, you know, for the folks who, and even if you go there, it says expect nothing. You were giving money to support the stream. And we were using that money for like Christmas stuff and helping the kids out, this and that, the boxing club. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to create a financial newsletter that's going to go out, kind of my opinions about the market. It seems that those sorts of things resonate pretty well with folks. So I think I'm going to be pushing one out probably once every week. I'm going to start. I'm going to give it to my YouTube membership folks and also my Patreon membership folks, just to provide you guys some value there. So if you guys If you guys could, if you have any other suggestions about any sort of value that I could add for those folks, let me know. Gensler Kid, yeah, mini Gens. Can't watch anymore. This dude CIA, big hack incoming. They have one goal, hold you down to the ground and keep you poor. Honeypot for sure. This is the way, shame on him, Gary's daughter. Got it. Are Pulse Punks a good idea? I got 3. I don't know. I think one of the Pulse Punks people reached out to me. They said they have a Pulse Punk for me. It looks like me. But I've not looked into it. Oi, Tiny Ginger. Swamped and on to another account. But figured I'd say, hey. What's up, Larry? Hexagon. He has a wrench. Saucy. Our Pulse Punks, yeah, it was dirty vibe. Let's go, Brandon. BaconSandwich.crypto. What is up, my man? Shillem Defoe. Looking at that beautiful ginger beard is all the value I'll ever need. Big guys. All right, so you guys know I can't shave this thing until PulseX or PulseChain hits 1000x. Now it's 1000x from the bottom, so that helps out quite a bit because I think we're already 18x up. But dude, I'm gonna have, if there's going to be a vote on the best beard in PulseChain, in the PulseChain ecosystem, it will be my beard. There's no stopping that, quite frankly. All right, and when it's done, I will chop it off and I'll let the robins create a nest with my beard. And their birds, the birds that will come out of that nest quite possibly will be soulless. And they'll have superpowers. I was a subscriber before this channel was created just so that he could be the first to unsubscribe. That's brutal. Yep, that beard is on flames. That's true, man. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all over the world, as a quick reminder,
rags to riches. Do not like, comment, or subscribe.
Have a great day. Not really. Psych. Goodbye. Terrafin, I'm coming for you. Terrafin.